We haven't had much of an opportunity to discuss harmony in the measure for measure columns. Fortunately, the harmony in this phrase is very basic. We see nothing but the 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 chord, and that's it. So if you're not familiar with the terms 1, 4, and 5, the 1 chord is based on the first note of the scale, and it is home base in the system of harmony used in the West. This will be our 1 chord, it's B flat. The 4 chord is based on the 4th tone of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's our 4 chord. Our 1 chord is going to be B flat, and then the 4 chord will be E flat. B flat, C, D, E flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th chord. And the 5 chord will be 1 scale step above the 4 chord and reharmonized here. Okay, so we have 1, 4, and 5. Nothing fancy, but used with extreme sensitivity and cleverness in this particular phrase, and I will show you why. Okay, while we're droning on the F here, we change chords. So here's the and the chord that I just played was at this point, and it changed the F from the 5th of the tonic chord, where it is filled with hope, to a tone that is filled with not doubt, but resisting the surrender that would be represented by the 4 chord. So it's a symbol of, I would say, pensive resistance. Pensive resistance. Now, normally the tone F would want to drop 1 scale step to the tonic of the 4 chord, the root rather of the 4 chord, but instead Chip Taylor raises it up to the 3rd of the 4 chord, the note G, right here. And that is a beautiful touch, because that emphasizes the joyful quality, and this is the 3rd of the 4 chord, E flat, and the 3rd of any chord, not just the 4 chord, is the emotional note. What do I mean by that? Well, let me explain. Here's the 4 chord, and this is the 3rd. But if I change the 3rd, if I lower it 1/2 step, 1 fret on the guitar, I change the emotional color of the chord completely with that very small change. So that's why I say the 3rd of any chord is the emotionally sensitive tone. If you change any other tone, you destabilize the chord completely. But you can change the 3rd from this happy tone to a sad tone without destabilizing the chord. It's unique in that aspect. Anyway, happy tone, falling back to F, and a change of chord on the F. So we have, starting here, B flat, E flat, going to the big, bold, and assertive 5 chord. And the 5 chord is a chord that defines B flat as the tonic. It is a chord filled with tension relative to the tonic chord. And the F, in the position of the root of the 5 chord, has a position of commanding strength. We'll come back to that later when I translate the whole melodic phrase. Okay, now F, which normally goes from here to the tonic chord, instead goes back a step, takes a step back, shows a kind of humbleness to go to E flat, the 4 chord. Now right here, E flat functions in what we call a amen cadence, a plagal cadence. So we're going from E flat to B flat, E flat to B flat. And I think you can hear the amen sound of that cadence. Except here the Chip Taylor fleshes it out with some, these are called passing tones. And then he takes the unexpected melodic flip from this last tone to the F in B flat. And I think I can safely say that is to emphasize the faithful supporting quality of F.